Hello, this is Darwalk and we're playing Kunitsu-gami today, and this is going to be the last video that I make on this game because this is the one where I get the platinum trophy. This is in fact the 6th of the 10 games that I'm trying to get platinums for this year. The other ones all had kind of trophy specific challenges I had to do, and I could cover like each of those trophies in a video, but this one was different. It's basically all done by just playing the game naturally. So what I had to do was upload everything in full long play form, warts and all, like all the learning process, all the mistakes, everything is there. I doubt that anyone will want to go and watch any of that, but it's there on the channel if you do. This one here is just the final challenge to get the platinum. So fair warning, it happens at the end of New Game Plus, which has a true ending that you don't get the first time you complete it. So if you care about spoilers, you might not want to watch this one. One other thing of note is that I completed this game prior to the end of September in 2024, and the game received a patch on September 30th, 2024. I'm not sure of the actual version that it's on, which of course may change in the future, but a number of changes were made which would have definitely changed how I did things. So I'll talk about what I did and what has now changed when those points come up in the video. So right now this is preparation for the first attempt at the first phase of the final boss. The tactic I'm going with is to use the bow skill that stuns and using the spectre skill to double myself so I get double stun shots and try to take it out that way. The villagers are mostly being used just for passive damage, and I took 4 sorcerers because that is a clear big attack that I can use every so often, but they tend to just sort of run around and get killed. So I'm taking the shield to use to try and protect them as much as possible, but I'm expecting to do most of it myself. Okay, so that was the first of several times where I just got instantly killed. It did not go very smoothly. Ultimately I got it down to about 10-20% of its health, and then Yoshiro got killed as I was floating around as a spirit. So on the retry I went for an equipment change. I had been using the shield dome skill, but if you group the villagers together for too long in this, the boss will kill them where they stand, so you have to move everyone around, and they're never really going to be grouped up for that dome to work. So I switched it out for one of the big damage air attack things that also damages the stun gauge for hopefully more opportunities to hurt him. And then we're going to try again. Already going very badly then, because I got his stun gauge all the way down and then died right as he got knocked out, so I was unable to attack him. And then he jumped out of the way before I could unleash my second big attack, so I missed him completely. At this point I'm just waiting for the sorcerer attack to become available. There it is, so I'm going to let this animation play out once. It's quite repetitive, so I won't show it again in this video, but this is what it looks like the first time. Unfortunately, what I didn't realize is that this also deals stun damage, and so he came out of it stunned. I was in completely the wrong place and missed another opportunity to capitalize on that situation. So the sorcerers are charged up again, launched another attack, and this was basically enough to get him killed. Just needed one final hit, which I think the villagers did for me. So here we are then, second phase. Despite having played very badly and not really deserving to be here, I've made it to this part. So now I just need to basically kite him around and get the stun shots in, try not to get hit. This was more bad choice with the timing because he disappeared before that hit. So he's right on the edge of death, and I've got another super available. Luckily, it has invulnerability while it's running, so we could finish it. And this is where New Game Plus takes a turn from the original playthrough. So, new stuff coming. So this was a huge relief. There is a true final boss, but it counts as a new stage, so you get effectively a checkpoint. You don't have to beat all 3 phases in one go. First time in, I really didn't know what to expect. The game gives you a chest with loads of crystals, and you've got 12 villagers, so you can pretty much try any strategy you want. As you can see, I'm taking some ninjas, just they're like autonomous, so kind of good for any situation. But they're expensive, so I had to kind of fill it out with some other things too. So a bit of a jack of all trades team there, nothing specific and probably not going to be too effective, but I need to find out what the deal is with this fight. I got killed, but the sorcerer attack is available, so triggering that. So far I've been following the same kind of strategy of trying to get stun shots in and using my specials when available, but I'm basically just kind of flailing around. So I have died again, but my Spectre is out and I can continue to use that remotely, so that's why I'm kind of moving in a weird way, trying to just get the Spectre attacks in. I've also taken note of how the villagers are mostly all dead, so I'm kind of forming a strategy to try and like recover them, because there's a few skills that can do that. So I am learning very strongly to fear that spread shot that she can do. Obviously I need to dodge a lot better to avoid that, as it's instant death every time it hits me. And look at all these dead villagers. I am down again, and nothing to stop her from going after Yoshiro, so that's the end of my first try. So for my next try, I swapped out the slow recharging attack for the dome shield to try and protect the villagers a little better than I did last time. I'm also going to work on dodging those ranged shots. this was an attempt to block her volley of shots there, but it breaks your guard. So unless you have the talisman, which improves your guard strength, that's not going to work. However, dodging is working, so I just need to get better at that. What you're going to see here is she actually hits the shield with exploding arrows and just takes it out. So shield is not effective against her. And yeah, the villagers, they all need to be clustered together for that to work anyway. So here they are, all dead again. And I'm dead, and once again, there's nothing to stop her killing Yoshiro. So we need a new plan. So this time around I opted to start again from the beginning, because that lets me change the villagers' jobs, and my talismans, sorry not talismans, the guards here, they got reset to what they were originally. So I gave up on the shield dome because that just wasn't effective. What I did decide to do was use the sacrifice skill, because the villagers were dying so much and I was dying so much, then at least there's some benefit to me dying if the villagers get revived at the same time. So I'm going to use that. Then I went to the talismans and had a look at what I could change here. and opted to give the villagers a health boost because I'm putting all my eggs in their basket this time. So then we go back and reassign the jobs. So this time around I'm going to take a shaman, and because I believe there's a skill that the shaman has at max level where they will revive cocoon villagers as well in exchange for their own life or something like that. So here I am just checking that out, and I'm going to go with that tactic. So yeah, I'm really leaning heavily into keeping the villagers alive. So after positioning the villagers and this fight started, it got off to a very bad start as I either had the wrong guard selected or I just misjudged it, but that big attack did not hit. That was a waste to begin with. I think I was aiming to trigger the Spectre instead, which I finally did here. Again, I don't know what I was thinking here, but I decided to use the sacrifice skill to recover the villagers. Even though none of them were cocooned, I thought maybe they needed the health boost. It just killed me and they continued to take damage. It was stupid. In my last attempt, when I got her to 50%, all the villagers were dead, and currently they're all still alive, so it is kind of working. She's in the ranged attack phase though, and this is going to be tough. So she's entered a new phase. Now she has her own shield dome and I think also her own doppelganger, which can fight outside of the dome. So yeah, I don't know if the Cursed Soul has all the skills that you have, and if you don't have that, then she wouldn't have that. But at this point I've unlocked everything, so I guess she has everything. Got her to about a third of her health remaining and the music has switched, so we're in the closing stages and I have a big sorcerer attack coming. It's looking good. The villagers are all going down now, but I have my sacrifice skill back, so I'm about to try it again. If I can. Here we go. And it only revived the two that were right behind me. So this is something that would not have happened if I was playing this today, because they buffed that and changed it so it affects the whole stage. But at this point, it was useless. I got caught by that attack and attempted to heal, but I was out of rations and that was it. I'm dead. I think this is probably going to be the end of another very close but unsuccessful run. So you won't see it in this video, but that was followed by another attempt using very similar tactics. I think the only change was that I added the villager buff guard skill, which if they're all grouped together you can make them stronger. Yeah, it didn't work. So then I started looking at what I was doing here and realized that the game was pushing me in a certain direction and I was ignoring the signs. Your opponent is a reflection of you. It's a lone swordsman. And this is Capcom, right? They're built on things like Dante versus Virgil. So I realized that it probably wants you to fight this as a one-on-one fight. So I went back into my talismans and I selected the things that would boost my combat skills. So then, with no intention of using any villagers directly in combat, I made them all into sorcerers. This is something that you would not benefit from if you're playing this on the latest patch, because they have now capped it. 5 sorcerers is the maximum increase you can get to the speed of the incantation. But at this point, I don't think there was a cap, so I just turned everyone, or as many as I could afford, into sorcerers, planning on having them standing at the sides while I tried to do the fight. And then every time they give me a spell, I'll cast it. So in fact, that's 10 sorcerers was the most I could afford, and for the last 2 I had to find another option. I believe I went with a cannoneer, and then that only left me with enough for a woodcutter as my last choice. And there you have it. There was a happy ending after all. Well, sort of happy. I left the full ending in for anyone that had the patience to watch the entire long play of my entire experience. This is mostly about the platinum, and I got the platinum by just going into the tent and looking at the last picture. I have to say I was really impressed with the way that last fight played out, and that was obviously the intention. The way it is now, my previous tactic would have worked with the villagers being revived, but I liked it all the same. So thank you for watching. Next game is going to come soon.